there is breaking news. We're going to address it in a minute. The Niners just signed a safety, George Odum, from the where's he from? The Colts. 3-year deal, $10.9 million. Why don't we come back to the and let's do Odum right now. Let's both look up George Odum.
I like that because George Odum is not a household name.
No, he's not. What do we know about George Odum? Okay, he is 28 years old. He's played 4 seasons with the Colts. He was an All-Pro in 2020. I guess for special teams because he didn't start one game. He started 7 games last year. He has started 10 games in his career on defense. This guy must be like a special teams. I'm not sure this guy's a starting safety. He was not a starting. I'm like, why have I never heard of this guy? Who the hell is? Okay, they got some. I'm thinking this is special teams. What do you think?
Yeah. Going outside of Niners news world, I went to Pat's Pulpit for the Patriots news, and George Odum is listed there as one of their potential targets. They claim he's one of the NFL's best special teamers. So, yes, this is yet again the San Francisco 49ers making an investment in special teams. Seems to be a focus so far.
It's really funny how much better than the rest of the league the Niners think they are. That they're like, oh, this team went all in, that team went all in. Pfft, good luck catching us. We just need a corner and slightly better special teams. Boom. And it's like, I'm not even sure they've gotten better on special teams because they lost Trent Sherfield, who was a monster on special teams. They lost Mostert, who was a monster on special teams, and Trenton Cannon, but they're replacing guys. George Odum better not be their starting safety next year.
No, that
better not be.
Even if I would be moderately disappointed if the 49ers went in with their current staple of safeties and just said, hey, one of these 3 is going to climb above the pile, right? We got Tavarius Moore, we got Talanoa Hufanga, and now we've added this gentleman, and one of them will distinguish themselves. That, to me, would be a horrible move going into the season. But I don't anticipate that that's what this signing was attempting to address. I do feel that the 49ers have substantially upgraded their special teams. I know that they're offsetting some of the players that are leaving, but to me, this shows an acknowledgement that third phase of the game was subpar for the San Francisco 49ers last year, and they're addressing it now. To me, this is a win. I get the criticism of the Niners not going all in other areas, but at least they're acknowledging how FUBAR special teams was.
That is definitely good in a vacuum. The criticism is if they plan to use him on defense. Let's look at it that way.
Right.
If this is the only safety they sign, he's not a starting safety. So what you're telling me is you're either going to go into the season with him and Talanoa Hufanga and have that be the competition, or you're going to draft a safety too. And you're probably going to have to draft one pretty high. So this is like, I was thinking they might sign a better safety than a guy I'd literally never heard of. But maybe that's my fault for not having heard. If you've honestly heard of George Odum, raise your hand. Honestly, ever in your life.
I'm sitting on my hands.
I've never heard. I was sitting here like, well, I'm sure Rob's heard of him. I'm going to pretend like I've heard of George.
You're like, oh, George, of course.
Oh, yeah,
George,
that guy.
Yeah.
He started 7 games for the Colts last year. Anyway, he was an all-pro special teams guy. They're thinking that's the one thing they need to – that they basically – the Niners in this mode where they don't think they need to get better. They just need to address whatever slight weaknesses they have, and this guy certainly does that. Maybe the Niners are right. I think they're probably not. We will see because I'm wrong a lot as well. Chris doesn't like it. He says another store brand free agent.
It is dollar store shopping at this point, it would seem, for the 49ers. But if you're addressing special teams, I mean, the dollar store is where you go.
This is like the Fendi of special teams. This is like the Moncler of special teams. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? They went to the most expensive boutique in the mall for their coverage on special teams. So nice.
If they do not address safety further, and they do not address that bookend rusher, edge rusher that it appeared they were after, right? I mean, they flirted with Chandler Jones. If they don't fill either one of those, I feel like legitimately the only way you're getting a starter at either of those positions is at 61 because they haven't moved Jimmy. They don't have another second rounder. And so they have 2 big holes and really one pick that makes sense to fill one of the 2. I feel like they've got to address this in free agency one way or the other.
I'd love to know Jaquaski Tartt's reaction to this. Like, he's probably like, who? Like, what? You replaced me with what? Who and what? Yeah, I feel you, man. Jaquaski, no respect. He is the Rodney Dangerfield of safeties. 49ers, I mean, he's not the greatest player, but damn, dude, they replaced you with George Odum. I don't even know who that is. That's rough. I'm sorry. You're better than George Odum. Pizza Diaper, whoa, says, is John Lynch trying to trade Jimmy Garoppolo at the draft and roll over his salary the next season like you suggested they should have done this season? I don't know what John Lynch is doing. I think he's on a never-ending quest to get the 2 second-round picks that aren't going to come. That's what it's Moby Dick. He is Captain Ahab. The 2 second-round picks are the white whale, and he's going to keep going for them. No matter what detriment it does to the ship that he's supposed to be the captain of.
What about the detriment to my health, Grant? That's the main concern.
George says, I don't think the Niners want to trade Jimmy. That thinking is stupid. If that is true, he is the weakest link on this team. You need to move on. They do want to trade Jimmy, but they want to be right that they could get a certain return for him, and they're tripping about that. Chris says, never. Niners have a proven top 5 quarterback wanting to play for them. They really should go and get Watson. Trey can get them the picks necessary to make it happen. I don't think they can. I mean, I guess, could you trade Trey for the 3 first-round picks right now? No. He's not worth.
I mean, the other question is, and this takes out of the equation whether I actually want it to happen or not, but quite honestly, within the Bay Area, would a quarterback like Deshaun Watson with the cloud over his head, would that fly with the San Francisco fan base? I don't think that it would.
Eric Price is mad. He says, how do you know Odom is a bum? You watch his tape. First of all, I didn't say he's a bum. Second of all, I said he's an all-pro special teamer, and I haven't even watched the tape yet. I know, I trust that he is the freaking man on special teams. But if the plan is to bring in a dude with 10 career starts who's 28 years old and say that guy is an upgrade over Jaquaski Tartt, then I have to be a little skeptical on that. But I admit that I haven't grinded the tape because there is no freaking tape, because this guy doesn't play defense. He's a special teamer. Eric, don't you ever talk to me like that ever again. I love you, Eric. I love you, Eric. Did you see what Jennifer Lee Chan just tweeted? No. Hold on. Let's see what Jennifer Lee Chan. Ding, 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 ding. Jennifer Lee Chan. What did she just tweet? That is my sound effect for technology loading. This would indicate that Jaquaski Tartt's future is likely not with the Niners. Yes, I think I figured that out. Me and Jennifer on the same wavelength.
That seems like a weak relation, right? I mean, if the 49ers in any way see this as a replacement for Jaquaski Tartt, that would be somewhat shocking to me. I guess you could see it as depth behind one of the other 2 players. To me, it would seem like.
Here's my read.
Let's see
read. They want Talanoa to start. Boom. There it is.
I think that's
I just
fair.
said it.
Yes.
I just said it. They don't actually want to. They're bringing in competition for Talanoa. Oh, here's a vet. He started 7 games. Like, he was an all-pro on special team. That's, it's like, okay, like, if you really want to bring in competition for Talanoa, how about Tartt? Because he would lose that competition. So now you're bringing someone then that Talanoa can beat. That's what you're doing.
That's fair. And according to Nate Atkins, who I met at the Combine, great guy, covers the Colts for the Indianapolis Star, he did tweet out a nice deal for George Odum. He'll be a special teamer who can factor in at safety, something he didn't get much of a chance at in Indianapolis. So people figuring he has the safety chops.
You know, the Niners have cornered the market on special teamers who can factor in at safety. I mean, that's what Talanoa is, right? That's exactly what he is. And now you got a Talanoa who's 28 and you're giving him $10 million. $10 million to play special teams. I love it. Okay. Hey, man, go have the best special teams in the league. Although you probably should have re-signed Trent Sherfield if you wanted that. Just saying. But
I feel like that was the one loss that I do regret, because Trenton Cannon, right, had lost his starting role as the kick returner by the end of the season. So I don't know that that was a big loss on special teams. Raheem Mostert obviously hadn't played special teams in a while, but Trent Sherfield as a gunner, that was a quality gunner. So you got to hope that this is the fill-in here. Yeah,
my major takeaway from this one is that get used to the idea of Talanoa Hufanga starting at safety. Get used to that. They like him more than
I think that's fair.
You do. Yeah.
I believe whichever of the 2, safety or edge rusher, that we don't address in free agency, we will address with that first overall pick at 61.
Yeah, I don't see them drafting a safety with the 61st pick when maybe they should. Cap says Odom has progressed each season. He's been in the league, started 7 games last season and got 55 tackles. He's going to be a terrific backup for Talanoa Hufanga, who would be a terrific backup for Jaquiski Tartt. Jaquiski, I respect you, man. You're probably having a good laugh. I hope you have a good day. Go fishing. He likes to fish. Chris says,
Yes.
I don't think you need 3 firsts to get Watson. A top 10 pick and a second or 2 should be enough if he wants to come here. Can get a top 10 this year. Seems like he wants to go to Atlanta. That's what we're hearing. Wants to go home.
Absolutely the rumor.
I'd probably rather live in Atlanta than Santa Clara too. I live in Oakland, but I work in Santa Clara. Nothing against Santa Clara, but I commute. I'm just saying. And Deshaun Watson, if you were to come to them, I would actually recommend you commute as well. Though I don't think you can. If you're a player, you got to live next to the facility, right?
Yeah. Can't waste that time commuting.
Can't. And you can't have the helicopter anymore. No. Some people try to do it, but that's off the table. I don't want to talk about it, but you know what I'm talking about. That Niner guy says they put the cash saving moves in to get the starting tackle. What? They put this cash saving move into getting a starting tackle. They could use one.
They could.
I don't know who. Lyle Collins, Isaiah Gill, every show, Trey Area. I respect it. He's consistent. If not consistent. All right, moving on. Let's get back to our show. George Odum, what's his name? I call him Greg Oden. George Odum, nice to meet you. Niners special team just became a problem.